Now let us talk about the anomalies, means the requirement of the normalization process. So the requirement, why we require the normalization process? So that there will be no anomaly into the database. That is our objective, right? So I don't want any anomalies will occur into the database. So I'll first we'll see that what are the anomalies and how they occur, and then we'll see that what are the process to remove the anomalies. So the database anomalies are the problem in relations that occur due to redundancy in the relation. So why this anomaly occur? This anomaly occur, why? Because there may be the redundant data. There may be the data which is repeating. So if we are getting or if we are having some repeating data into the database, so it will create the problem, and that problem are called in the database. The problem is called anomalies. These anomalies affect the process of inserting, deleting, and modifying data in the relation. And these anomalies, because of that, it is affecting the insertion of data, it is affecting the deletion of data, as well as it is affecting the modification of data or the updation of data in the table or in a relation. Some important data may be lost if the relation is updated that contain database anomalies. So there may be the situation where we have a chance in which we got some relation, and when we are updating that particular relation, so we find out that some of the data are lost. So it is important to remove these anomalies in order to perform different processing in relation without any problem. So we have to remove those anomalies. That is our objective. Let's talk about anomalies. So let's say this is my database and this is my table. This is one table in which we have how many attributes? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's say I have 9 attributes. So first three attribute is telling about the student detail. Second three attribute is telling about the course detail. And third three attribute are talking about the result details. Let's assume that this is roll number, this is the name, and this is the date of birth of the student. This is the course ID, this is the course name, and this is the grade or the number. Okay, this is the number, this is the course name, and let's talk about this is some sort of a grade in that particular course. Then we have result detail. In this, we have the result date. This is the result, and this is the grade. Okay. So let's assume that this is my big table. Now, what happened into the big table? So we feel some anomalies, or so we detect some anomalies. Okay. So let's first talk about anomalies, which is called insertion anomaly. So what is that insertion anomaly? When you insert a record without having it stored in the related record, to insert the information into the table, we must enter the correct details so that they are consistent with the value of the other rows. Missing or incorrectly formatted entries are two of the more common insertion error. Now it says that at the time of insertion, when we try to insert the data into the table, so we have to insert the data into its correct row or its correct places, and missing of some data or incorrect data insertion are the common problem related to insertion. It says that it is not anomaly, it is just saying that this is the common error or common problem in the database will face, missing or incorrect formatted. Now we are talking about anomalies. Now when we insert the data, in these type of database or these type of table, we feel some problem. What are the problem? Let's see the problem. We cannot insert prospective course which does not have any registered student, or we cannot insert a student detail that is yet to register for any course. Now it says that in this particular table, we cannot insert those courses which are not registered by the student. Means, you know that when we insert any value or any tuple or any row in the table, we have to fill each and every attribute in one row, right? So if I want to insert the course detail which is not yet registered, let's say some faculty has proposed a new course, okay, but that new course is not at all registered by any of the student. So this particular database can we cannot enter those data. Why? Because if we'll enter the data of, let's say, a subject called cloud computing or subject called IoT, so I have to put the student detail also, as well as I have to put the result of that particular course. But the thing is that without registering by the student or without having the test or without having the exam, I cannot put the result, as well as without having the registered student, I cannot put that particular course. The same thing will happen to the student. If the student is newly joined and let's say he hasn't joined any of the course, so I cannot put the student detail here because I have to put the associated course detail, but that student is not at all not at all registered to any course. So what happened into the big table? This big table will restrict us to insert any data, right? Any individual data. So what we'll do is if we'll split the table into three different tables, let's say we have the student detail in a separate table, course detail in a separate table, and result detail in a separate table. So what will happen is if any new student came into the institute, so I'll put the student detail in the separate table. I don't have to bother about the registered detail, as well as if a new course will be introduced. So I'll put the course detail here without bothering about how many students have registered that particular course, right? So that is the problem of the big table where we have the restriction of inserting the individual data. So I need all the data should be there into one row. That is the insertion anomaly. Now let's talk about another anomaly which is called updation or modification anomaly. The modification anomaly occurs when the record is updated in the relation. So the modification anomaly occur when the record is updated in a relation. So when we want to update any record, anything, right? So if I want to update the, let's say the date of birth, or let's say I want to update the course name or course number, or I want to update the result. So at that particular time I may face the problem, and that problem comes under the category of updation anomaly. In this anomaly, the modification in the value of a specific attribute require modification in all record in which that value occur. It says that if you want to update a particular attribute, so you have to find out all the occurrences of that particular value in the attribute, and then you have to update all the occurrences. Getting it? What is the meaning of all the occurrences? Let's say we have the example. Let's say we want to update the course M4 name. We need to do the operation 3 times. Similarly, we may have to update a student roll number 1003's name twice if it changes. So in the table, if you'll see, let's say there is M4, Maths 4, and I want to change the name of maths for basic mathematics to some other. So I have to change here, I have to change here, as well as I have to change here. As at the same time, when I want to change the or update the name of any student, let's say 1003 Sita, I want to update the name of that particular student, I have to update it here as well as here. But when this will become in one table, this will become in one table, or this will become in one table. So we have only one instance of that particular course, only one instance of that particular student. Getting it? So I have to update only one. I don't have to update in different places. So that is the problem that will face when there is these type of big and complex table. That is called updation anomalies. Means of means if we want to update it, we have to find out all the similar record we have and then we'll update it. Now, the last anomaly which occur is the deletion anomaly. Deletion of an anomaly means when we want to delete any record, any particular record in the complex table, the related record will automatically be deleted. So I may lose some of the facts or some of the important data in my database. So when we want to delete any data from the table, I have to delete one row. I think you might have done the deletion. So when we delete one row, let's say, for example, I want to delete the course M4. In addition to M4 occurs detail, other critical detail of a student also will be deleted. This kind of deletion is harmful to business. Moreover, M4 appear thrice in above table and need to be deleted thrice. So what happened into the deletion anomaly? Let's say I want to delete this M4. So I cannot delete the M4 or this particular record. I have to delete the whole row. So this data will also be deleted. This data will also be deleted, as well as this data will also be deleted. If you'll see, Gita is twice, okay. Ram is twice, and Sham is also twice. Uh, Also two time written. So here what will happen is the Ram, if there is only one occurrence of Ram, so whole if we delete the course details, so student detail will also get deleted, and we may lost the information about one student. So that is the problem that we might face when we want to delete any data from this type of complex database or complex relation or complex table. So I think you understood the three anomalies: insertion, deletion, updation, and insertion anomaly. So insertion anomaly occur when we want to insert any data, and that is that is occur due to we doesn't have other related record. Modification anomaly occur when we want to modify any data into the database. I have to modify it many times because we have redundant data, we have duplicate data. Deletion anomaly occur into the system, and that deletion says that if you want to delete any specific data, it may delete the related tuple data, and when it will delete the tuple data, we may lose some useful information. These are the anomalies. Because of these anomalies, we use the process of normalization.